What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Woman in the Window breakdown, review, and recap. This movie features a pretty star-studded cast with Amy Adams, Wyatt Russell, and Anthony Mackie. The movie opens with Anna, played by Amy Adams, on a Monday as a family called the Russells are moving in across the street, as she talks seemingly to her husband that she is separated from and even meets a therapist. It turns out that she is agoraphobic, meaning she cannot leave the house, which is difficult when the kid of the Russells named Ethan knocks on her door one night to drop off a present from his mother, and initially hesitant, she actually allows him in and they get to talking, and he wants to be friends with her as she reveals she is a child psychologist. She also has a weird relationship with her tenant David, who lives in the basement, played by Wyatt Russell. Now, he wants to put sweets out for kids for Halloween, but she plans to just sit out Halloween as she's egged. Hey lady, you've got to put a bowl out for kids on Halloween, even if you don't want to have to go up and down the stairs a billion different times. However, she runs out of the house angry at the kids, trying to get them to go away, but she happens to faint, obviously due to her agoraphobia. Now, she wakes up to find a woman in her house. However, she initially thinks that it is Jane Russell, the woman who has moved in opposite, as she investigated the family heavily. However, she is actually not. She is actually the birth mother of Ethan, who the father found later in a druggy commune and really paid her to stay away from the family. However, the pair talk with the lies still going on and discuss the family and the like. We later see her killed and stabbed in the Russells' house. However, we do not actually see who the killer was. Now, interestingly, we are led to believe that it could be either David or the father, Mr. Russell, but in reality, it was actually Ethan, as he was angry at her not staying away. Now, each night Anna hears things and even heard a woman crying down in the basement, but David would later reveal that this was actually the woman there, the fake Jane Russell, and he said that she was psycho and kicked her out and later avoided her when she was coming round. The father also came over to ask if a member of his family had come round to meet her, and under the assumption that it was actually Jane Russell she met, she actually lied, as the woman and Ethan have hinted that the father is kind of violent and has kind of weird trust issues and really dangerous tendencies. Now, evidently, he was trying to find if Ethan's birth mother had come around. Now, after the stabbing, Anna actually calls the police, which is where we finally meet the real Jane Russell. The police and family are very dismissive of her, and she said it was Jane Russell who was killed, but she's deemed loopy as Jane Russell's there, and she has her medication and drinking and her problems that she has. She's not taken seriously at all and kind of starts to doubt herself, but she investigates the family and the father, leading down to a rabbit hole of finding that a woman was killed and, it was actually his assistant who was killed. She did this by pretending to be an insurance agent, and it makes us further think that the father could have actually been the killer. Now, she even doubts herself that the woman might even be real, but more clues come in the way of a parole board letter for David, as he gets even more fraught with her and a lot more snappy as the movie goes on. Now, he assures her that it was just a bar fight and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, there's a big kind of red herring that her earring was on his bedside table. But over the course of the movie, she keeps hearing weird things in her house, and even her cat becomes hurt as she is sent photos of her sleeping after spying on her neighbours, but when she went to the police, they actually refused to help her. Now, there are a lot of red herrings in this movie to kind of put us off the path that it could be Ethan, which I will admit that did come as a shock, but it comes to a crescendo when the Russells and David come in when the police are there, and we finally learn that, we have a flashback. We see her with her family driving down a snowy road, and she was actually having an affair, and, it led to an argument in the car. She wanted to live this lie and pretend that she is actually happy with her husband just for her child. But, well, she gets an unknown caller and she tries to answer it, drops the phone, and, well, isn't looking, leading them to careen off the road, killing her family. Now, this led to her to actually retreat into herself and kind of, in her brain, pretend that, well, the reason her family aren't there is because she's separated. And, well, it's interesting that she then later tries to get help, having realized, well, she's been sort of living a lie all this time. Now, she does plan to commit suicide and makes a video to confirm that David had nothing to do with her death. However, she recalls that she actually took a photo of her cat when the woman was there, proving that the woman does exist. She shows this to David and she's adamant that this woman did exist, and it all comes down to the fact that, well, she called her Jane Russell, which the woman just went with. David comes clean that the woman was Ethan's birth mother and she was paid to stay away. However, the big twist comes in the fact that Ethan arrives and he's unhinged as he's killed David and was going to kill her as he's done it before, having killed his father's assistant. Ethan has been manipulating her all this time, having known what she liked and such, based on the fact that he knew what happened to her. He knew the whole tragic story of her family, and, well, he also killed his birth mother for not staying away. He seems to be wanting to be a serial killer, and he really wants to have a pattern and things like that, and be like those big killers, which is really, really dark. Now, Anna tries to escape and they fight and David is killed, but we lead to a rooftop final battle. But luckily, she recalled that David told her about the mold in her skylight and said it needs to be reinforced, which she then jerry-rigs, forcing it so that Ethan falls. Well, she was right all along. Well, kind of. The Ethan part she didn't predict. But the police allow her to delete the video and she later moves out, having decided that, well, I need to move on. But overall, I really, really like this movie. I will admit it did get a bit slow. It wasn't until kind of like the third act and when the reveal started coming thick and fast and she was investigating the family, I felt like the first half was a bit too slow for what it was, but I thought Amy Adams was really, really good in this role. And, well, I would like to see more of these types of movies. I really, really enjoy them. And I've got some more Netflix movies, reviews and breakdowns coming out. So let me know what you want me to cover. So let me know which ones you prefer. And I will see you soon. Please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. And I'll see you soon, and goodbye.